Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a great day. So let's get right into it. Welcome back to the Tech in Name blog. And I hope you were able to learn one or two from the last time we did the chapter one, and that's the introductory section. And now we are moving into chapter two. Remember, we looked at definitions and stuff like that. So also remember that here I'm not paid by PMI, IIBA, or even Scrum.org. I'm just here to share my knowledge as a disclaimer. So let's jump right into it. The chapter 2 has to do with business analysis key concepts. Okay. So, I hope you can hear me and you can see my screen. So, the business analysis key concept chapter includes information that provides a foundation for all other content, concepts, and ideas within the BABOK guide. So, telling you that the BCC, that's business analysis key concepts, includes information that provides a foundation. So the information you find here provides foundation for all of the other content, concepts, and ideas within the BABOK guide. So let's move on and find out. It provides business analysts with a basic understanding of the central ideas necessary for understanding and employing the BABOK guide in their daily practice of business analysis. So as a business analyst, it helps you with an understanding of the central idea that is necessary for you to use to understand and employ the BABOK guide in your daily practice as a business analyst. This chapter consists of the following: business analysis core concept model, that is BACCM, defines a conceptual framework for the business analysis profession. So you'll see a conceptual frame. Just say that the BACCM provides you the business analysis framework, and you know what a framework is. Just don't take it out. Don't take it too far. A framework gives you like a carcass, like a skeletal frame. You know. So key terms provide definitions of essential concepts which are highlighted because of their importance to the BABOK guide, just like it is. Requirements classification schema identifies levels or types of requirements that assist the business analysts and other stakeholders in categorizing requirements. Stakeholders defines roles and characteristics of groups or individuals practicing in or affected by the business analysis activities within a change, requirements, and designs. Describes the distinction between and the importance of requirements and designs as they relate to business analysis. So let's go at it again. Remember, this chapter contains the following. Okay, so that is business analysis core concept model, key terms, requirement classification schema, your stakeholders, requirement and design. So let's move right into it. So the business analysis core concept model, I called it key concept. So is BACCM is a conceptual framework for business analysis. It encompasses, that is, includes, it covers what business analysis is and what it means to those performing business analysis tasks, regardless of perspective, industry, methodology, or level in the organization. Remember what we said about business analysis? You may not have the title, but you're doing the work of a business analyst. You may not be like you may be in different fields and you are doing the work of a business analyst. So it tells you that the BACCM encompasses what the business analyst is, what you are as a business analyst, and what it means to those performing business analysis tasks, regardless of the perspective. That is, whether it's agile, whether it's business analytics, architecture, industry, any industry, engineering, medical industry, methodology. Are you using agile or are you using waterfall? Or level in the organization? Are you like a manager or are you maybe even like a clerk or an admin. Okay, so the, don't like. I want you, as we are going through this, see everything you do, no matter the job you do. See business analysis in what you do. Because I mentioned clerk or admin. As an admin, for example, what if you come to the office in the morning and there is something that needs to be done? And the manager or the CEO tells you, okay, go and find out what they need so that we'll know how to meet their needs. And this is just for a meeting, right? Your collective requirement at that particular point, please. Yes. So see business analysis in everything you do. The main thing is for you to do is know the roles, responsibilities of a business analyst. Then you now know how to move stuff around. Now know how to say, oh, this is what I do. This is my job description, or these are the roles I perform in an organization. Oh, I can see business analysis here, there, and there. Okay. It is composed of 6 terms that have a common meaning to all business analysts and helps them to discuss both business analysis and its relationships with common terminology. Each of these terms is considered to be a core concept. The 6 core concepts in the BACCM are change, need, solution, stakeholder, value, and concept. It's good you know these terms. They are very important, especially when you are going through your simulators. Each core concept is an idea fundamental to the practice of business analysis. So now we are going into the core concept. Okay, it's telling you, or it tells you here, that it is an idea. It is an idea fundamental, very important to the practice of business analysis, and all the concepts are equal and necessary. So there's no concept that is higher than the other. They are equal and they are all necessary in your business analysis practice. Each core concept is defined by the other 5 core concepts. That means they are interwoven and cannot be fully understood until all the concepts are understood. See, no single concept holds greater importance or significance over any other concept. These concepts are instrumental to understanding the type of information elicited, analyzed, or managed in business analysis task. I would like to take that last point again. So it tells you here that these concepts are instrumental, they're important to understanding the type of information elicited, analyzed, or managed in business analysis task. Okay, so when you are doing your elicitation, your analyzation, or whatever, it is important. So you have to carry these core concepts with you. The BICCM can be used to describe the profession and domain of business analysis. Describes your profession as a business analyst. Communicate about business analysis with a common terminology. So it helps you to communicate about business analysis with a common terminology. Evaluate the relationships of key concepts in business analysis. Helps you to look at the relationship that exists in key concepts in business analysis. Perform better business analysis by his holistically, that is, as a whole, evaluating the relationship among these six concepts, and evaluate the impact of these concepts and relationships at any point during a work effort in order to establish both a foundation and a path forward. Let's move on. So now they've listed the key concept, core concept, core concept. I think like I'm having in a PM IIBA break here. So core concept description, change. Now, do you know what we need to do first before we, let's look at this core concept from a layman's perspective. I like to see stuff from layman's perspective, from Oxford Dictionary, from Google. Like I love to give things definitions so that, yes, to have an idea. It may not really be directly the way I've taught it or I've seen it online, but it helps me to understand. This is just like I said, this is how I study. So change, what is change? uh, what's your understanding of a change? That means you are bringing in something new as a person, right? Need. What to you, what does need mean? It means like a, a gap exists. So I need to fill this, or I need this. You need a handbag because you go to work and you need somewhere to put your stuff, right? Solution. That means you are bringing ease, right? You are bringing result. Stakeholder. Oh, those involved in whatever I'm doing. Value. What addition are you bringing in? What is the plus you are bringing in? Some people will, what are you bringing to the table? Very funny. Context. What environment? What surrounds, what aura, like what definition surrounds something, a context? So I'm just putting this out there. So let's move right into it. Core concept description. Change, the act of transformation in response to a need. Remember, they said all these concepts, they are interwoven, they are interconnected, they are related. So you can imagine change is a transformation in response to a need. So let's look at it further. Change works to improve the performance of an enterprise. Yeah, you are bringing in change because you want improvement. You want to make more money. You want to reach more clients. These improvements are deliberate and controlled through business analysis activities, telling you that you, as a business analyst, you are the one in charge when it comes to bringing in this change, because like you have to control them, their activities, their tasks to be performed, so you are the one to control it. Okay, and they're telling you also that it is deliberate. Remember, strategic, tactical. In an enterprise, need a problem or opportunity to be addressed. Okay, so we have a gap, we need to address it. Okay, needs can cause changes by motivating stakeholders to act. You see? So needs can cause changes by motivating stakeholders to act. Needs. Like we need, for example, your data analyst comes one day to the manager and says, "Oh, I noticed a trend that all of a sudden we are hitting." Maybe you have a social media network, or you have like a product on social media, and your business analyst, your data analyst comes to you and says, "Oh, I noticed that last month we were hitting 5 million subscribers, or we hit 5 million, we're hitting per day, let me not exaggerate, 1,000 clicks. And all of a sudden, this month, I noticed that we are barely reaching 500. Is that not a problem? Is that not like something, it's a red flag, right? It should give you concern. And you're like, oh my goodness, there's a gap. There's a need. What do we do? We need, what is the need here? The need is to go back to our 1,000 or whatever clicks per day and even increase it beyond that. What are our competitors doing? You know? Yeah. Needs, that's what, like they're saying, needs can cause changes by motivating stakeholders to act. So the fact that there's a gap is now motivating you to act. Changes can also cause needs by eroding or enhancing the value delivered by existing solutions. Oh, this is good. But let's move on so that we don't take so much time here. I'm enjoying this too. I hope you're enjoying it too. And if you are, kindly subscribe and like. So, solution, a specific way of satisfying one or more needs in a context. So, when you have seen that need, remember we gave an example with, you have a social media platform that you sell stuff, you notice that you are getting lower clicks per day to compare to before. So, you are bringing in a solution, a specific way of satisfying one or more needs in a contest. Maybe you, apart from even seeing that you're not getting the clicks you're expecting to be getting each day, you also want to increase the clicks and also want to sell more product. Maybe you are not even selling as much product as you used to. A solution satisfies a need by resolving a problem faced by stakeholders or enabling stakeholders to take advantage of an opportunity. Or you guys wake up one day and see the need to roll over, like, how will I put it, revitalize your product, and you're like, we think that we need to change the wrap, you know we think we need to make changes to our product, and you're like, maybe we should overhaul everything. Stakeholders, let's move on. A group or individual with a relationship to the change, the need or the solution. See how they are tying everything together. A group or individual with a relationship to change, the need or the solution. Stakeholders are often defined in terms of interest in, impact on, and influence over the change. Stakeholders are grouped based on their relationship to the needs, changes, and solutions. I would always say that stakeholders are those that are directly or indirectly impacted by change. Okay? In the sense that some of them, they have a say, some have minimal say, some you just have to inform them, some you just have to consult them. But here they're telling you stakeholders. They are is either a group or individual with a relationship, one way or the other, to the change you are about to bring in, to the need that exists, and all the solution. Value, yeah, the worth, importance, or usefulness of something to a stakeholder within a context. So within a context of that social media platform, okay, the value, the worth, the importance of whatever you are bringing in. Okay, value can be seen as potential. You see, they're saying, you know why they put potential? Because they are not sure yet. Even at the point of implementation, we are not really sure because your projection may be it will bring us 10,000 people. But fine, those are numbers. Those are just graphs. We are not sure. They are potential, like yeah, because it can go live and anything can happen or anything. Yeah. Or so it tells you that value can be seen as potential or realized return. So now when we now start seeing those results, we can now say, okay, realized returns, gains, when we start seeing the cash inflow and improvement. Oh, when we start seeing those clicks, it is also possible to have a decrease in value in the form of losses, risk, and costs. Plunging down. So it is also possible to have a decrease in value in the form of losses, risk, and costs. So just like I said, what if you go live and something goes wonky and you have risk here and there? Oh my gosh. And costs, costs. Oh, you don't want that. Value can be tangible or intangible, that is pronounced or unpronounced. Like, so you are so aware of it. At times you're not aware of it, directly or indirectly. Tangible value is directly measurable. Tangible value often has a significant monetary component. Intangible value is measured indirectly. Okay? Intangible value often has a significant motivational component, such as a company's reputation or employee morale. In some cases, value can be assessed in absolute terms, but in many cases is assessed in relative terms. One solution option is more valuable than another from the perspective of a given set of stakeholders, because whatever you do matters differently to your stakeholders. Some stakeholders are not even bothered about the money. They are bothered about image, reputation. Okay? For example, in your company, if you have a lawyer, someone that is in charge of your legal stuff, what do you think they'll be interested in more whenever you are going live with this solution? Your image, your reputation, policy, privacy. Are you getting it right? Make sure that this doesn't go out there and it costs us our reputation. Okay? Context. The circumstances that influence or are influenced by and provide understanding of the change. I love this. Changes occur within a context, within something. Something. The context is everything relevant to the change that is within the environment. Context may include Attitudes, behaviors, beliefs, competitors, culture, demographics, goals, government, infrastructure, languages, losses, processes, product, project, sales, seasons, terminologies, technology, weather, and any other element meeting the definition of context. So context within which you remember what they said about BACCM. This is a foundation that gives you definition of content, blah blah blah. This context now, your project is within a demographic, within a goal, within a culture, within a behavior, within an attitude, within a technology, within a weather. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this because I'm having so much fun here. So let's move on. The core concepts can be used by business analysts to consider the quality and the completeness of the work being done. Within each knowledge area, description, there are examples of how the core concept may be used and or applied during the task within the knowledge area. Okay? While planning or performing a task or technique, business analysts can consider how each core concept is addressed by asking questions such as what are the kinds of changes we are doing? What are the needs we are trying to satisfy? What are the solutions we are creating or changing? Who are the stakeholders involved? What do stakeholders consider to be of value? What are the contexts that we and the solution are in? Okay, so now it tells you as a business analyst when you are doing your work, you ask yourself these questions. That is, you tie whatever you do back to the business analysis core concept model. We are getting close to our first break. If any of the core concepts experience a change, it should cause us to evaluate these core concepts and their relationship to value delivery. Remember, they were like, okay, excellent. This diagram is apt because remember they told us that the BACCM, they are all interwoven, they are all intertwined. So telling you that whenever you come into a project, you should ask yourself, what changes are we bringing? Blah blah blah. Now, when you have given them a definition, when you have given them gotten clarity on where you are taking off from all this, and at a point and something changes, you should come back to reevaluate what you have done. Okay, so now this diagram is just showing you how they are tied together. See, stakeholders tied to changes, tied to context, tied to back, needs tied to solution, tied to value. Okay, and even outside they are tied. Key terms: business analysis. That is the first term. Business analysis. The BABOK guide describes and defines business analysis as the practice of enabling. We've done most of this before, so we're going to brush through them so that we don't take too much of our time. So the BABOK guide describes and defines business analysis as a practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Very important. Please have this at the back of your head. So let me see. BABOK guide defines or describes and defines business analysis as the practice of enabling change in an enterprise by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders. Business analysis information. Business analysis information refers to the broad and diverse set of information that business analysts analyze. So please just look at the definition. Business analysis information just tells you what you analyze as a business analyst, the information, the data, So let's move on. Business analysis information refers to the broad and diverse sets of information that business analysts analyze, transform, and report. Just the information you work with as a business analyst. It is information of any kind at any level of detail that is used as an input to or is an output of business analysis work. Examples of business analysis information include elicitation results, requirements, designs, solution options, solution scope, and change strategy. It is essential to expand the object of many business analysis activities from requirements to information to ensure that all inputs and outputs of business analysis are subject to the task and activities described in BABOK. So telling you that it's good you expand activities from requirements to information to ensure that you have everything, the inputs, the output, the tasks or activities that are involved. So, for example, when performing planned business analysis information management, it includes all the examples listed above. If the BABOK guide described planned requirements management, it would exclude important outputs like elicitation results, solution options, and change strategy. Design. A design is a usable representation of a solution. Okay? A design is a usable representation of a solution. Just say, like, for example, let me give you a vivid example. You want to you want a website that allows you to order meals online, and you guys are at the design stage, okay? And the solution architect or whoever is supposed to do the design maps it out for you, draws it, gives it a shape and stuff. Even it could be the UI design or whatever, and brings it to you. Okay, it's the person has modeled, has like carved out what you've requested for in such a way that it meets your need for you to be able to read it and look at it and sign up and say, okay, I think this is what I need, or this represents what I have in mind. Okay, so design focuses on understanding how value might be realized by a solution if it is built. Then seeing it, you are now trying to understand how this will bring value to you. The nature of the representation may be a document, see, or set of documents, and can very widely depending on the circumstances. Now, at this point, I think we can take a 2 minutes break, then we'll come back and we'll continue with enterprise. And I hope this has been useful to you. If yes, kindly subscribe, click that like button, and yes, stay tuned. Thank you. Hey guys, I hope you had the best 2 minutes break ever. And yes, welcome back to the TechInit blog. And we're in the chapter 2 of BABOK. We are looking at BACCM, and also we've gone past that, and now we are going into enterprise. So, an enterprise is a system of one or more organizations. So, I was telling you that enterprise can be made up of one or more organizations and the solutions that they use to pursue a shared set of common goals. Okay? So, these solutions, also referred to as organizational capabilities, can be processes, tools, or information. So, if you didn't get that, let's go back right into it. An enterprise is a system of one or more organizations and the solutions they use to pursue a shared set of common goals. These solutions, also referred to as organizational capabilities, can be processes, tools, or information. For the purpose of business analysis, enterprise boundaries can be defined relative to the change and the need not to be constrained by the boundaries of a legal entity, organization, or organizational unit. An enterprise may include any number of business, government, or any other type of organization. Telling you an enterprise there can be one or more, is a system of one or more organization and the solution they use to pursue a shared set of common goals, also going ahead to list how these solutions could be, as tools or information, and also telling you how they share their boundaries and even the legalities behind it. And also, an enterprise may include any number of, that is, an enterprise can be a business, government, or any other type of organization. I hope you got that. So, organization, an autonomous group of people under the management of a single individual or board that works towards common goals and objectives. Just telling you that they are autonomous under a single individual or a board, and they work towards common goals and objectives. Organizations often have a clearly defined boundary and operate on a continuous basis, as opposed to an initiative or project team, which may be disbanded once its objectives are achieved. Well, if you've read the PMBOK before, or even if you're a project manager, you understand that a project has a start and end date, and most of those playing parts in a project, they are drawn out from different teams. And once a project is over, they all go back to their teams. Okay? Plan. A plan is a proposal for doing or achieving something. Plans describe a set of events, the dependency among the events, the expected sequence, the schedule, the result of outcomes, the materials and resources needed, and the stakeholders involved. So you notice at the initial beginning, I slow down a bit, and when we go into it, I pick up pace so that we don't, dwell on one thing. And yeah, requirement. A requirement is a usable representation of a need. A requirement is a usable representation of a need. So when you now have that need, oh, we need more clicks, someone will come up with a requirement. So this is what you need as a user, or as a user. I need to log into the system and stuff and stuff and stuff. We'll still get there. Requirement focus on understanding what kind of value could be delivered if a requirement is fulfilled. So as a user, I want to be able to log into the system and check my profile. It tells you what I want to do. It tells you the value of what I want to do. It tells you even the result of what I want to do, right? The nature of the representation may be a document. So the representation of a requirement could be in the form of a document or set of documents, but can vary widely depending on the circumstance. You can even have it as a flow chart. Risk. Risk is the effect of uncertainty on the value of a change. So a solution or the enterprise. So whenever you hear risk, you know that it is the uncertainty. It hasn't happened, but it's uncertain on the value, like the uncertainty, is the effect of the uncertainty. If something happens, we don't really know, we're uncertain, but on the value of a change, a solution, or the enterprise. Business analysts collaborate with other stakeholders to identify, assess, and prioritize risk. Business analysts collaborate with other stakeholders to identify, assess, and prioritize risk, and to deal with those risks by altering the likelihood of the conditions or events that lead to the uncertainty, mitigating the consequences, removing the sources of the risk, avoiding the risk altogether by deciding not to start or continue with an activity that leads to the risk, sharing risk with other parties, or accepting or even increasing the risk to deal with an opportunity. You have so much information here, and I'll advise to underline it. Now, a risk, something that we are uncertain that may occur, which would impact our change, our solution, or even our company. Okay, so you as a business analyst, your work is to collaborate with your stakeholder, be it the project manager, be it the manager of that organization, be it the front end users, okay, to make sure that you mitigate, that is, you either prevent this risk, you control it, or even at times you just allow it, because there are some risks that are good. Okay, so yes, I think we'll go right into it. Even in BABOK, I think they define, they actually described it, or even when we are doing PMI and PMBOK, I think we are also going to meet this too. Requirement classification schema. For the purpose of BABOK guide, the following classification schema describes requirements. Okay, this tells you that there are others, okay? So, but they're telling you for the purpose of the BABOK guide, the following classification schema describes requirements. And remember the heading. Always remember the heading of whatever you read. So we are looking at requirement classification schema. This tries to divide requirements or put requirements into different types, okay? So you have the business requirement. Let's go through the headings first before we go into it, into two. Okay. Now we have the business requirement. We have that is requirement from the business area. We have the stakeholders requirement. That's requirements from your stakeholders. Solution, that is requirement born from the solution. The transition requirement. This is transition requirement is mostly operational, I believe. Yeah. Business requirement, statements of goals, objectives, and outcomes that describe why a change has been initiated. They can apply to the whole of an enterprise, a business area, or a specific initiative. That is the business requirement. Statement of goals, objectives, and outcomes that describe why. So, whatever describes the reason a change needs to be initiated, they can apply to the whole of an enterprise. This can be applied to an enterprise, a particular business area, maybe in your telecommunications company, the marketing area, or the digital area, okay, or specific initiative. It can be an initiate specific. Remember, tactical, strategic initiative, okay? So, stakeholder requirements describe the needs of stakeholders that must be met in order to achieve the business requirements. So, a stakeholder needs a requirement to be done, and you this requirement is tied to the business requirement. Whatever requirement you see is still tied back to the enterprise, to the business. They may serve as a bridge between business and solution requirements. Some requirements serve as a bridge, okay, or that interconnecting factor between one end to the other. So, solution requirements describe the capabilities and qualities of a solution that meets the stakeholder requirements. They provide the appropriate level of detail to allow for the development and implementation of the solution. Solution requirements can be divided into two subcategories: functional requirements and non-functional requirements. I love these requirements anyways. So the functional requirements describe the capabilities that a solution must have in terms of the behavior and information that the solution will manage. Please, I wanted to please have these two information at the back of your mind. They are very important whenever you are doing your simulator. Non-functional requirements or quality of service requirements do not relate directly to the behavior or functionality of the solution, but rather describe conditions under which a solution must remain effective or qualities that a solution must have. So let me describe this, or let me go right into this. Functional requirements, that is, that requirement a solution must have. It must have it. Okay? To say that it meets the whatever criteria. For example, you are building a website and you say this website must have a profile login. That's a functional requirement. Then you say, I want a situation whereby when I click on the URL of this website, it will just take me 1 second to get to the login page. That is a non-functional requirement. So this, you see the difference. One is in fact, is mandatory. You cannot make do without the login page, right? But when you come to non-functional, just like the example I gave with the 1 minute or 1 second, some websites take longer than that. But this is what you want. This is the quality you want for that particular website to take just a second, right? Okay, so transitional requirements describe the capabilities that the solution must have and the conditions the solution must meet to facilitate transition from the current state to the future state, but which are not needed once this change is complete. This is talking about operations mostly. They are differentiated from other requirement types because they are of a temporary nature. Transition requirements address topics such as data conversion, training, and business continuity. So whenever you see business continuity, just think operation. Just think when a system goes down, what do we do? When when there's a power outage, how do we continue with this business? Or when there is a flood, when we experience flood, disaster, or when maybe when someone breaches our security, maybe scammers and stuff like that. Training, transition, you are trying to transition this system to the business area. And how do you do that? It's through training, because this is a new system, or this is a system you refurbished, right? Data conversion. So maybe you are moving from an old system to a new system. You are converting data. Okay. Stakeholder. That's one of the examples. Yeah, you have other examples of data conversion. Stakeholders. Each task includes a list of stakeholders who are likely to participate in the execution of the task, or who will be affected by it. Remember what we said about stakeholders. A stakeholder is an individual or group that a business analyst is likely to interact with directly or indirectly. Please, stakeholders, when you're reading BABOK, have it like in your chest and in your mind and in your heart. They are very important. Most of the online simulators I did, and even it will help you in the exam. So know your stakeholders in and out very well. Know who they are at any point, what they need at any point, like the results you want to gain from them, when you're supposed to go to them, how you're supposed to collaborate with them, what you need to collaborate with them. Okay. And yes, if you're enjoying this so far, please subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. Okay. Yeah. A stakeholder is an individual or group that a business analyst is likely to interact with directly or indirectly. So you interact with your stakeholders directly or indirectly. And remember, your stakeholders can be spread across the geographic system. The BABOK guide does not mandate that these roles be filled for any given initiative. Any stakeholder can be a source of requirements, assumptions, or constraints. You would even see it at each knowledge area. They will tell you the stakeholder you need. So this list is not intended to be an exhaustive list of all the possible stakeholders classification. Some additional examples of people who fit into each of these generic roles are listed in the definition below. In most cases, there will be multiple stakeholder roles found within each category. Similarly, a single individual may fill more than one role. So, for the purpose of the BABOK guide, the generic list of stakeholders includes the following roles. Business analyst, so telling you the stakeholders you need. Business analyst, customer, domain subject matter expert, end users, implementation subject matter expert, operational support, project manager, regulator, sponsor, supplier, and tester. So they are now going into defining each of these. Business analyst. The business analyst is inherently a stakeholder in all business analysis activities, because you are the one driving everything. So you are always there. The BABOK guide presumes that the business analyst is responsible and accountable for the execution of these activities. In some cases, the business analyst may also be responsible for performing activities that fall under another stakeholder role. Yeah. Even in Scrum, this happens. At times, the Scrum Master can perform the work of a product owner. Maybe the product owner is away, so the Scrum Master the product owner would hand over some of their roles to the Scrum Master, maybe deciding on what we need to decide on the backlog. Okay, let's reshuffle this backlog. Can you help me do that and stuff like that? And yeah, even while I was working as a Scrum Master, at times I even performed the work of a business analyst. So you see, like as an IT person, your duties, your roles, they are intertwined one way or the other, whether you like it or not. Okay. Now, even the project manager at times performs the work of a business analyst. When I was working as a project manager, I was also doing the work of a business analyst, collecting requirements, refining them, going to the stakeholder to ask them, oh, is this what you want? Do you need me to do this and do that? And even currently, I work as a business analyst and a project manager, and also at times as a Scrum Master. Yeah, because we use Waterfall. So when maybe we need to bring in one or two Agile Scrum, iterations and stuff like that. So you can imagine. So You are expected in a way to be an all-rounder when you are into IT project management. So let's move on. Customer. A customer uses or may use products or services produced by the enterprise and may have contractual or moral rights that the enterprise is obliged to meet. Please, these definitions is good you had them at the tip of your distant thumbs or whatever fingers, right? Yes, because when you are answering all those online simulators, these they bring this in, they make it real life. They put it in a story form or in your use case on Tech Canva and the rest, and they make you answer all those questions. But the thing is, when you know the definition and you understand the stakeholder, you are able to answer those questions. A customer uses, so you are the, if for example, take an example that you are the customer, so you use or may use products or services produced by the enterprise and may have contractual or moral rights that the enterprise is obliged to meet. For example, if I drink or if I take uh, fizzy drinks, I and I take one, maybe my favorite one day, and I notice that, oh, this doesn't go down well with me. What happens next in today's world? Someone will go to the social media, like or if um maybe I am affiliated to a company and I find out that one of their goods or service doesn't meet my, what do? I meet them. And even, do you know that companies, for the fact that your product is out there, one way or the other, you've entered contractual or moral rights, whatever, with us, the public. Because if your product doesn't meet my needs and I've spent money on it and I'm not getting joy, I have to approach you and tell you, right? But let's move on from there. Domain subject matter expert, very important personalities in business analysis or in any project. A domain subject matter expert is an individual with in-depth knowledge of a topic relevant to the business need or solution scope. When you are gathering requirements, your SMEs are very important. In fact, they are the king. This role is often filled by people who may be end users or people who have in-depth knowledge of the solution, such as managers, process owners, legal staff, consultants, and others. End users or end user. End users are stakeholders who directly interact with the solution. End users can include all participants in a business process or who use the product or solution. Please don't get confused between customers and end users. End users and customers, please don't get confused. Implementation subject matter experts. Also, don't get confused with implementation subject matter expert and SMEs. An implementation subject matter expert is any stakeholder who has specialized knowledge regarding the implementation of one or more solution components. While it is not possible to define a listing of implementation subject matter expert roles that are appropriate for all initiatives, some of the most common roles are the project librarian, change manager, configuration manager, solution architect, developer, database administrator, information architect, usability analyst, trainer, and organizational change consultant. Operational support. Operational support is responsible for the day-to-day management and maintenance of a system or product. When the solution is live, those people using it already. Okay. While it is not possible to define a list of operational support roles that are appropriate for all initiatives, some of the most common roles are operations analyst, product analyst, help desk, and release manager. Project manager. Project managers are responsible for managing the work required to deliver a solution that meets a business need and for ensuring that the project objectives are met while balancing the project factors, including scope, budget, schedule, resources, quality, and risk. While it is not possible to completely define a listing of project management roles that are appropriate for all initiatives, some of the most common roles are project lead, technical lead, product manager, and team lead. Now, don't get confused between the role of a project manager and business analyst. Remember, project manager is the person that manages the project that has a start date and end date. The business analyst, you're the one that collects requirements. But the thing is this, at times, their roles are interwoven. The project manager may do the work of a business analyst. Why a business analyst must do the work of can do the work of a project manager? But they are different. They are different place. Unless you find yourself in a position whereby you know that your role says you have to do the work of a project manager and a business analyst at the same time. Regulator, very important people. Regulators are responsible for the definition and enforcement of standards. Please, whenever you see standards in your simulator, just know that change. Like, well, we'll still get there. Let me not jump the gun. Standards can be imposed on the solution by regulators through legislation, corporate governance standards, audit standards, or standards defined by organizational centers of competency. Alternate roles are government, regulatory bodies, and auditors. Whenever the regulators come to your company, just know that sponsors are responsible for initiating the effort to define a business need and develop a solution that meets that need. If you remember in project management, sponsors are those that even like give the power to the project manager to do his work. So also here they are very important. They authorize the work to be performed and control the budget and scope for the initiative. Alternate roles are executive and project sponsor. Supplier. A supplier is a stakeholder outside the boundary of a given organization or organizational unit. Suppliers provide product or services to the organization and may have contractual or moral rights and obligations that must be considered. Alternate roles are providers, vendors, and your consultant, your developers, if they come from outside, if they're not within your Scrum Master. Even your project manager can be a supplier, because if they are consultants or vendors from outside, Tester, very important. Testers are responsible for determining how to verify that the solution meets the requirements defined by the business analyst, as well as conducting the verification process. Now, after you must have built your website, someone will have to test it to say that, yes, this meets the need of the business, okay? And also this does what it says it will do. Or it does. Testers also seek to ensure that the solution meets applicable quality standards and that the risk of defects or failures is understood and minimized. An alternate role is quality assurance analyst. And mind you, as a business analyst, you are also a tester too. Yes, I do tests, I do write scripts, I do write test cases, use cases, and requirements and design. Eliciting, analyzing, validating, and managing requirements have consistently been recognized as key activities of business analysis. However, it is important to recognize that business analysts are also responsible for the definition of design at some level in an initiative. The level of responsibility for design varies based on the perspective within which a business analyst is working. Requirements are focused on the need. Designs are focused on the solution. Please remember this. Requirement is equals to need, and design equals to solution. The distinction between requirement and design is not always clear. Even for me, it's not always clear. But I have to be telling myself, this is for this and this is for that. The same techniques are used to elicit, model, analyze, and analyze both. A requirement leads to a design. Remember, as a user, I want to do this. Okay, the architect goes to design that, which in turn may drive the discovery and analysis of more requirements. So when they draw that, I think if we also tweak it this way, it comes out this way. Okay. The shift in focus is often subtle. The classification as a requirement or a design may become less significant as the business analyst work progresses to a greater understanding of an eventual fulfillment of the need. So as you go on, everything becomes clearer. The tasks in BABOK guide, such as trace requirements, or specify and model requirements may refer to requirements, but the intent is to include designs as well. Business analysis can be complex and recursive. A requirement or set of requirements may be used to define a design. See, a requirement or set of requirements may be used to define a design. That design may then be used to elicit additional requirements that are used to define more detailed designs. The business analyst may hand off requirements and designs to other stakeholders who may further elaborate on the designs. Whether it is a business analyst or some other role that complete the designs, the business analyst often reviews the final design to ensure that they align with the requirements. So no matter what happens, you come back to align what has been done. The following table provides some basic examples of how information may be viewed as either a requirement or design. Requirements and design. So let's go through this, and after this, we are done. So, requirements design. I will have to rush through this. Sorry. View 6-month sales data. This gives you a vivid example of each. When you are viewing 6-month sales data across multiple organizational units in a single view. Okay. The design part of it is a sketch of a dashboard. So the design gives you a picture, like a picture effect of requirement. Reduce amount of time required to pick and pack a customer order. This is a requirement. I want to have the ability to reduce, okay? The design gives you a process model. Record and access medical patient's history. The design part of it gives you screen mockups showing specific data fields. Develop business strategy, goals and objectives for a new business. The design gives you business capability model. Provide information in English and French. Prototype with tests displayed in English and French. Stakeholders may present a need or a solution to an assumed need. A business analyst uses activities found in elicitation and collaboration, strategy analysis, requirement analysis and design, and solution evaluation to transform that request into a requirement or design. Regardless of the focus of the stakeholder, the importance of the role of the business analyst lies in continuously asking the question why. For example, why is either the requirement or design necessary to provide value to an enterprise and to facilitate the requirement of an enterprise goals and objectives? So requirement and design cycle. Requirement and business requirement, who do I want it? Design. Stakeholder requirement, who are the needs? Design. Solution requirement, who do I want? Design. Transition requirement, who are the conditions? Cycle continues until requirements are met. And now we move to chapter 3. Thank you so much for staying till now. And I hope you subscribe, you like, you share. Next time we meet, we are moving into business analysis, planning and monitoring. And I'll suggest read it before we get there. Have a great day. Bye.